Hey, everybody, welcome to Better Odds, show that's going to get you through the best of matchups in week 10 of the NFL season. With us tonight is, as usual, Randy and Ben. I also have a special guest, Jeremy. He is one of our collaborators. It's his first show. Jeremy, how are we doing tonight?
Spectacular. How about you?
Doing well, doing well.
I'm excited to be here.
Good deal, good deal. We're also going to have another guest panelist join us momentarily, Jason Waters. He'll be sharing some insights on some football knowledge as well as we try to navigate you through week 10 NFL action and our best bets. Before we get started, gentlemen, as always, what takeaways do we have from week 9? Randy, I'll start with you.
The Bengals are good, and the schedule makers can kiss my ass. Why are you going to give us San Francisco and Buffalo back to back? That's messed up.
I mean, it does happen.
But it's okay. We took them both down.
You took them both down. I mean, what can you say? Ben, your thoughts?
Some backup quarterbacks are better than others. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much all I have on that one. I mean,
I agree.
if you think about last weekend, it was just a backup quarterback fest. So
Yeah, there was like, 10 or something like that?
Yeah,
It felt like it was a lot.
There was 7 just on the main slate for Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And then was that even counting DeVito who came in? Or
I don't
No,
think so. No,
Like starting the game.
Yeah.
Okay. Jeremy, you got any thoughts from last week that you want to point out?
The Browns have the best defense, hands down, in the league. That is a championship defense. They are damn good. And Kevin O'Connell was the mastermind of all the quarterbacks, whether it be LA, Vikings, when he was in Washington with Kirk, and then when Mark Sanchez had to come in for that game, being able to do everything. He is the puppeteer. I think whoever's rolling with the Vikings at quarterback, Kevin O'Connell can get them to a win. That culture is fantastic.
He's a QB whisperer for sure.
Mm-hmm.
My takeaway from last week, simple. Everybody knows it by now. If you've read the post on X and Facebook and seen the videos from the last 2 weeks, planted my flag last week. Josh Allen is not an elite quarterback, at least not right now.
No.
And that interception garnered me some money, and I locked it in last week. So if you followed me and went with me, you made a little bit of money yourself. With that being said, our picks last week, Randy, on top of things again, I think you went. I think you maybe only missed. No, I don't think you missed one, from what I viewed. Ben, you can back me up on that. I know you had one correct, right, Ben?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Nico Collins, he got his
Yeah.
receptions number. You locked that in. You got that.
Yep.
Yeah, he got a touchdown. Ben locked in Nico Collins. He also locked in Alvin Kamara, though, which we were all on.
Yeah.
And that didn't happen.
Ben,
Unfortunately,
Ben jumped on that first, so I backed out.
no, I'm saying we were all on. I mean, we all bet it in some degree. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ben's the one that got to take the fall though for the lock in. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I do.
Every good crime needs a fall guy.
for everybody. I think I went 3 for 4 by locks. The one I missed was the Carolina Colts over 44.5. It did not get there. It got to 40, I believe. So, but locked in the under on the Commanders Patriots, locked in +4 for the Vikings, locked in the Josh Allen interception that all hit. Randy's Bengals money line hit.
I had a parlay Saints money line, Vikings money line last week. That like a $4 bet hit me for like $17, so I was real happy
There
about
you go. That definitely is good. Anytime you're making plus money, anytime you're making a profit, you ain't going broke. So
Yeah, I don't do huge bets, but when I win, I'm real happy.
there you go. Gentlemen, are y'all ready to start with week 10? We got a doozy of a first game on Thursday night. Y'all excited? I mean, we can pass if we want to, but a doozy? Well, it could be a snoozer if it wants to be, because this game is. It is Carolina at Chicago. and I'll get the line on that momentarily. I should have already been ready for that. But Carolina is Chicago's -3 at home. No Justin Fields again, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I know. The total is 38. Total is 38.5. Pristine weather, but these teams are pretty garbage. Randy, you got any thoughts on this game?
I'm about to say something really ignorant. I'm going to take the over. Chicago's been very, 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 very terrible at home, allowing 36.3 points per game. And Carolina in the top 20% of the league, by the way. And then Carolina is giving up 25 on the road. Also in the top 20% of the league, points given up. I know both these offenses are terrible, but the defenses may be worse. So I'm going to take the over. I actually have it at like 52. So,
jeez.
Yeah. So I'm going to take I'm just going to take is it 38.5?
Okay.
So yeah, I'll take the over.
Jason Waters has now joined us. Waters, how are we doing this evening?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing well. We have just started game 1 of this week's breakdown for week 10. Carolina, Chicago. Jeremy, I want to go with you next. What plays do you have, if any, for this game?
Okay, so haven't really dove into it so much as Randy has. A big thing I was looking at was on Underdog Fantasy. The one thing I know you got to do, like you got to make 2 or more picks, and it's got to be from different teams. The one bet that I see that is just standing out right now is Adam Thielen, 6.5 receptions. You look at his last 3 games right now. He's had at the Miami game, he had 13 targets for 11 receptions, and Houston 11 targets for 8 receptions, and then the Indy game, it was 6 targets for 5 receptions. That 6.5 seems kind of low, and he has been just an absolute dog this year. He is, I get it, Carolina, yep, they're trash this year, and they're in a rebuild, but he is the wide receiver 1 this year. He's Bryce Young's favorite target. I like that over all day.
Yeah, I agree. That outlier last week, I think it's just an outlier. I don't think it holds. I think that Thielen continues to do his thing. Waters, what do you have on any of this game, if any bets at all?
I do have the Thielen. I do think the Bears, that soft cover 2, cover 3 hybrid defense they run is going to get eaten alive over the middle. So, and I don't think that they have the capability to shut down Adam Thielen this week. So 6.5 is solid. I think I don't see him, and I don't see a world where he doesn't get it. But I do like the under on this game, because I do think that it'll probably be like 17-14, something around those lines. So,
Ben, what's your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to stay away from, per se, the game itself, and just go over to my prize picks. And I'm going to take Cole Kmet over 37.5 yards right now. He usually averages about 46.3. And paired that with a Terrence Marshall Jr. under 27.5 receiving yards. I just, can't see Marshall, outdoing Thielen, and Badgett likes to throw, not down the field. So, and Badgett, whatever you want to call him. So DJ Moore.
The one before that.
What? Who? What? Thielen?
Who? Line? What'd you say?
Terrence Marshall. Terrence
Marshall isn't out.
Back this week?
Yeah.
It's who?
Khalil Herbert.
I
don't know. Yeah. But he's not going to throw it down the field to DJ Moore, so Cole's going to get pretty much all of the receiving yards. So I'll take both of those.
Cole Kmet's FanDuel.
Fields is going to be out by the second quarter anyway. So
Robert Tonyan is showing right now over under 5.5 receiving yards. In the past 2 games, he went 11 receiving yards and 8 receiving yards. That That
Terrence
can also be a
Marshall's
trap.
Terrence Marshall's under for 25.5 is minus 114 on FanDuel, and Cole Kmet's over 37.5 is minus 114 as well. So that's that if you want that on FanDuel as well. We also are going this week to give a little more of a prize picks feel for those who can't bet and are not in legal states to bet on FanDuel or DraftKings. So you'll have many different perspectives on bets this week as well. Gentlemen, anything else on the Carolina-Chicago game, or shall we move on?
I'm just trying to work my way through. That man said thin lean or something like that. Shut my whole system down.
Let us go now to Sunday morning, early again. One more game across the pond in Germany. Indy versus New England. New England's technically the home team. Indy is favored by 1.5. Total is 43.5. Let's see. Jeremy, any thoughts on this game?
New initial thoughts. You're going up against Bill Belichick. He's always a defensive guru. He's going up against I get it, Gardner Minshew. Uncle Rico. He's probably one of the top tier backup quarterbacks, but he's still a backup quarterback for a reason. Right now, it's showing Gardner Minshew 222 passing yards. I kind of like the under with that. I also like the over on Jonathan Taylor rushing or receiving touchdown. Just initial thoughts with that. I also, I kind of like Ezekiel Elliott touchdown as well. It's looks like it's boosted right now on underdog, and he had his first touchdown last weekend. They might ride the train with that. Good red zone goal line back.
Waters, you got any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I like the under. I think that Belichick's on the hot seat, if you will, and I think that that team's going to come out and play somewhat inspired based off of that. And I like Minshew, but we all know that he's very capable of putting up, 180 yards and 4 picks, just as capable as he is of throwing 3 touchdowns. So I don't see a good game out of the Colts on this one. I think the Patriots, they can stop the run somewhat well. So I think that's where the Colts are probably going to get beat at this week.
Randy?
I can't find anything in this game unless I'm just going to shout out how much of a screw up Josh McDaniels is. Like some of the stuff that came out today,
strays.
When he got rid of Peyton Hillis because he thought his wife was attracted to Peyton Hillis, so he traded Peyton Hillis back in the day, and then I don't know, traded Cutler, and then walked in the locker room and told everybody, "Don't worry, I can make a high school quarterback, all-pro quarterback." Like a bunch of just. Tom Brady must be a god, dude, to be able to work with Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, and Bill O'Brien, and all these guys that just even Belichick kind of sucks without Brady. I think it was just all Brady the whole time. This dude must be just some kind of crazy player.
Yeah, there's real truth to that.
Be back in a few, boys.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Josh
Ben kind
McDaniels.
of agree with that. I see the Michigan flag.
I'll get to Josh McDaniels a little bit later when we get to that game. As of right now, though, Ben, what do you have on this game? New England and Indy.
We know all overseas games have kind of sucked, always. So I'll take the under on this one. 43. I have DraftKings. I don't see a lot of points scored on this one. Patriots have a good defense. Colts defense has been okay at times, but still, both these teams, like I said, going overseas, something messes with these players when they do that. So I don't see if we were going to have a good game, it was going to be or a high scoring game. It was going to be last week when it was Miami and Kansas City, and they couldn't even pull it off. So
Indianapolis gives up top 20% points scored on the road. They give up 25.6 to kind of help your point there.
Yeah, I mean this is a road game for both teams, but it's definitely labeled as a road game for the Colts. So take it as you will. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yep.
San Fran at Jacksonville. 49ers are 3-point favorites on the road. Total is 45.5. Waters, what do you have on this game?
I honestly like Jacksonville getting the 3. I think I don't know if I'd put it in, a whole bunch of parlays, but I think if I was trying to add a little juice to one, and I just see him covering it, and I think that I don't think that defense. I don't think Young is going to get acclimated this week and maybe next week, but I don't think he's going to be a big force this week. And then that, the 49ers are, I think, 19th in the NFL in passing yards allowed. And I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be able to light that defense up. And your boy Purdy's still seeing birdies out here. So,
Ben, what do you got?
I don't think San Francisco is going to lose again. I'm taking San Francisco -3 to cover. I'm also going to throw in McCaffrey touchdown and the ETN touchdown. So those two have never let me down. So
yeah, McCaffrey's a lot.
Yep.
Randy?
I think this game's lined about right. I think the total's about right. I think the line's about right at -3 +3 for Jacksonville, San Francisco. San Francisco on the road give up the top 20% points. Also, they go up 24.7 on the road this year. So, kind of feeding into Jason's point of looking at maybe Jacksonville, but I think it's just too correct. I don't know what's going on with San Francisco, man. Like, I thought the farther they got into the season, the more that it would kind of favor them because they're more of a ground and pound, so they don't need to air it out all the time, whatever. But if Purdy doesn't have Debo and McCaffrey taking these 30-yard screen passes to the house, then he just looks awful. So I'm just going to stay away, but I think it'll be a good game. I'm going to throw out like a sneaky play. I think if you want to throw some money on something, throw money on like Jacksonville to make the Super Bowl. Because, like, if you look at every element of their team, their defense isn't bad. They got a decent running game. They can take to the air with Lawrence and those guys. Like, they really don't have a weakness on their squad. Like, it's a pretty solid team. And then, like, Kansas City, no wide receivers. Baltimore, I know Gus Edwards looks fine right now, but, like, do we really think every Baltimore running back is going to make it to the end of the season healthy?
I got that Marshall kid. He's
fine. Wear down. And then, like, Tua and those guys are starting to break down a little bit. I think it's Jacksonville and Cincinnati. One of those two teams go to the Super Bowl in the AFC this year.
I think I can make up names for Baltimore running backs, and they'll plug them in sometime, and they'll just keep running. Like that rookie last week. He ran for 100 and whatever yards. I mean, I thought
Keith Mitchell or Keontae Mitchell, something like that.
Keaton or
Keith Mitchell.
Keaton, yeah, something like that. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Baltimore's tricky. I don't think they're a good road team at all.
You said Baltimore?
Yeah. I think they need home field, personally.
They need a lead. They can't play from behind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they need that too. So, but beyond that, this Jacksonville game, 49ers got to buy at the right time, in my opinion. They'll be better. They'll be healthier. But, Jacksonville they had the same bye this week, didn't they? So,
do we know if Debo's back?
I have not heard. I have not looked.
No, I think
I haven't seen
he
it.
might be, but not sure.
Because that would change it a little bit, but like I still don't really like it. I think both these teams are good, and they're just gonna just be a good game to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, y'all ready for the next game? Ready to move on?
Oh, Debo is back.
Debo's back.
Okay. He was a full go at practice today.
Saints at Vikings. Saints are 2.5-point favorites in Minnesota. Total is 41. Last week, the Vikings, with Josh Dobbs as their backup, became starter because of an untimely injury. Got the win over the Falcons. It is a Falcons team, so I don't put much stock into it. Be more of a test this weekend against the Saints. That defense is pretty good, although slightly exposed this past weekend. Ben, what are your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts are going to be I'm going to take the Saints on this one. I mean, I really think the Vikings kind of caught Atlanta off guard with everything. I mean, I said at the beginning of the season, Atlanta was sneaky good. Now they've switched to sneaky bad. So I think the Saints at -2.5. And I'm going to stick with not Kamara touchdown, but I'm going to go with Taysom Hill touchdown.
So that sounds good because that means it should be a Kamara touchdown. So,
but I'm going to go with Taysom Hill running or passing.
Gotcha. Running or passing.
Yeah. He's been passing a lot more here lately.
Randy, your thoughts?
I don't know if you guys play best ball, but Taysom Hill has to be like the best ball MVP to this point. The guy goes undrafted every year, and then like week 8, he just starts scoring touchdowns and doesn't stop until the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
I love talking about Taysom Hill. Sorry about that. Daughter fell asleep next to me. She's not really feeling too well. So,
all good.
I'll ride with Ben on this, and I think New Orleans probably gets the job done. I mean, what Dobbs did last week was nothing short of it's crazy to come in. He probably, when those guys were coming over to celebrate, he probably didn't even know half those dudes' names, and he was just dabbing them up.
In the press conference, he admitted I didn't know their names. That's for this week.
And then, you could see, he would come over and talk to O'Connell, and O'Connell would, give him the play call pretty much. All right, this guy's going to run this route. He's going to run this route. And this dude's just going to here dropping dimes. But I think it probably crashes back to earth this week. New Orleans is a very solid team. Atlanta has sucked for the better part of, 7-8 decades.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'll take New Orleans -2.5. I think they get the win. I got them at -5.1 on my little projection scale. So, 2.5, no big deal.
Jeremy, what are your thoughts on this game?
All right. I know I missed out on the San Fran Jacksonville game, so right before I get into this Minnesota real quick, my hot take for this week, my underdog that's going to win moneyline Jacksonville.
Moneyline Jacksonville? Nice.
I like the moneyline Jacksonville. I think it's you throw them in with another solid win team, whatever, just to make it like that two play parlay. I think Jacksonville gets the job done. I think Trevor Lawrence, finally can get his stuff together. I mean, he's got all the weaponry. I think he hasn't been performing to his potential. He's been overrated, but I think he's going to live up to it this week and show how to get the job done. Now, Minnesota Saints. Shout out to Purple Daily. Listen to them every day, ritually. They are amazing. So, Minnesota being my favorite team, get to learn a lot about them. Cam Akers goes down, player prop bet I like. Ty Chandler gets a touchdown, whether that be passing or receiving or rushing. I like a Ty Chandler touchdown with this. I don't have the ability to do alternate spreads. I like if there. I don't know what he's looking at right now. Hold on, let me see what he's on underdog. Apologies. So let's see. Josh Dobbs. He's not even showing up right now because
they're not listed. Yeah. No, they don't have.
Yeah. I know he got he's probably his over under probably is going to be somewhere around, let's say 50, 55, give or take. If you can do an alternate spread of 40 rushing yards, I really like that. I like the over with him. Alexander Madison is showing right now. Let's see. Oh yeah, I always fade him. He has not lived up to anything yet. It's not even showing his rushing yards. Whatever his rushing yards are, under. Dude hasn't had a 20-yard run since 2021. Like, what are you doing? I get it, semantics. You know, he had a 19-yard rush the other weekend or something like that, but not good. I also like Greg Joseph. It's right now it's showing over under, or it's showing 1.5 extra points made. I like that over all day. I absolutely believe that they can get into the end zone at least twice. I like Saints money line though.
Okay.
Sorry, Vikings, but I like Saints money line.
Waters, any takes on this game?
Yeah, I like. I think Minnesota can cover the 2.5. I don't think the Saints are better than them, even with Josh Dobbs. Obviously Josh Dobbs had a good game last week or a decent game last week, but it's gonna be a little bit different when a team has a whole week to game plan for them. So I think it will be close, but the Saints, the defense isn't scary. I mean, it's middle of the road. I mean, just like the Vikings. But like I said, I think what the over is 41. I think I'd take that too. I think I could easily see these teams scoring, 24-21 even. But and then I do think that the Taysom Hill touchdown, I think that's a good call. He's been incredibly hot, and they seem to be getting him the ball any way they can. And I don't see a reason they're going to stop doing that. And Derek Carr throwing over 300 yards a game for I think all but one game is they're going to have to get the ball out. So
I want to ask about that. What is all the hype right now around Taysom Hill? Like, I'm in like 3 different groups on Facebook. He is blowing up.
They're just using him.
That's just because Randy was saying like it's like the week 8 hype of Taysom Hill, week 9.
Usage. Yeah. So.
Their usage has spiked on him. He's being used more in the offense, and since he's been used more in the last 2 weeks, their offensive production has gone up and their points have gone up. So
it's like week 6, he's been a fantasy monster.
Yep. True. And also Ty Chandler, whatever his receptions are in the book, there's no way they're caught up to it yet. I'd take that. I'm sure it'll probably be 2.5, 3. Like that's a solid bet easily.
I'd say the receptions come out about 2.5 on that.
Right now, Underdog Fantasy, it shows Danielle Hunter over under half a sack. I like the overall day. Brian Flores has done an absolutely amazing job bringing them from 31st, 32nd in the league last year with Ed Donatel, but ran the shell defense. Horrible. Danielle Hunter, they're blitzing at what? Like it was like a 57% rate or something like that. Something stupid crazy, like first in the league for it. And Danielle Hunter has been living up to his contract. I like the Danielle Hunter at least 1 sack all day. Because Derek Carr can't run. Let's be honest. He's diet Kirk Cousins.
Gentlemen, we got anything else on this game?
No, I'm good.
No.
Okay. We shall move on to the Titans at the Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is 1.5 point favorite at home. Total is 38.5. Waters, you got anything on this?
I mean, I don't know. I don't like this game. Honestly, I don't think the betting's gonna be there to. It's so hard to predict what is Will Levis really gonna be, and I mean, I don't trust Baker with anything in me to be a productive quarterback. And I mean, I don't know what the yards are yet on Godwin or Evans or even Rachaad White for that matter, but I just as for right now, I'm definitely gonna stay away from it.
Randy?
If I was going to bet anything, it'd be the under. Both these teams suck. But the line's kind of close. I have it at 34. Is more what it should be. It's at 38. So, like, if you want to take the under, I'd grab it now probably because it's going to get bet down. Yeah, there's not really a lot to love here. Both these teams kind of below.
Ben?
Yeah, there's not a lot I really like here. I mean, if I was to pick something, I would, of course, go back to my prize picks, and I would have to do, let's see, Will Levis over 217 and a half passing yards. Because, I mean, the last two games have been thrown all over the place. I don't really see that stopping in this game. And then pair that with, I would pair it with Baker Mayfield throwing less than 242 and a half. Baker still doesn't really look the best in the world, and that Tennessee defense seems more susceptible to the run than they do the pass. So,
Jeremy?
I like the under of 38 and a half. Also, a player prop. I like Antoine Winfield Jr. at least one interception. I think rookie quarterback. I get it. Will Levis. He again, first game he looked decent. Still a rookie quarterback. Antoine Winfield is playing amazing this year, and I think he gets at least one interception.
I'm going to go with a Rashad White anytime touchdown in this game. That's my play.
That is fantastic.
Because of what Ben said, the Titans susceptible to the run game. So, and he can get it either receiving or rushing. So, moving on, Browns at Ravens. Ravens are 6-point favorites at home. Total is 38.5. Ben, what are your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to take the Ravens on this. -6. I think they cover that. I know the Browns have a really good defense, but the Ravens offense at home, I'll take that all day. Give me also, let's see.
A Lamar Jackson first touchdown?
First touchdown or just anytime touchdown?
I mean, you went first touchdown last week.
I know, I did.
No
I'm just
ball.
I'm just gonna go with anytime touchdown this time, Lamar. So
Anytime touchdown seems appropriate this week. He didn't get one last week, did he?
nope, don't think he did.
No. So yeah, seems like he's due. Randy, your thoughts?
The same thing that Ben just said, minus the Lamar Jackson stuff.
Okay.
I think Baltimore wins. I have them winning by 11. And I actually even like the over in this game.
Yeah, I mean,
I got it at 48. The number's at 38.5. So I like the over and I like Baltimore.
Waters?
Yeah, I will say I think shout out to the Browns defense for being one of the best defenses in the league, running and passing. With that being said, I do think Lamar. I think it's on Prize Picks. He's like 212 yards passing. I think he eclipses that just because the Browns' run defense is that good that he's gonna have to put it in the air. And I also like Deshaun Watson. I think he's at 195 on Prize Picks for yards, and there's no way he's not going over that. I mean, I'd see 250 probably in his future against that Ravens defense. It might be garbage time when he gets it, but I do think that both those quarterbacks are probably going to light up the yardage at least. And
Jeremy?
Lamar anytime touchdown, by the way, also is probably a decent bet just because they're going to stack the box against the run if they get down there. So,
Gotcha. Jeremy?
So you're just going to host the show on mute or what?
Oh, am I on mute? Can you hear me?
No.
Oh, okay.
Deep freeze.
All right. So I like Lamar under on rushing right now on Underdog Fantasy. He is showing 44 and a half.
All right, Ben, you're in charge now.
44 and a half rushing yards. The past couple weeks, he went 36 rushing yards, 17 rushing yards, 60 rushing yards. I like the under, again, with what
I
you
didn't
guys
realize
been
the
saying.
Baltimore's only giving up 204 passing yards a game.
Yeah. So, like I said, I like the under on Lamar rushing.
Mm-hmm.
I like Mark Andrews over on receiving. Excuse me.
You're good.
Right now, showing 4 receptions. Past 3 weeks, he's gone 6 targets, 4 receptions, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 10 targets, 9 receptions. I think 4 receptions. You smash the over on it. Perfect. If he gets exactly 4 receptions, it's just a void bet. Nothing negative comes of it. And if it goes over, great. He's the number 1 receiving target. I also like the uptick in Zay Flowers. Odell, I'm not buying it. Me personally, I like the under on his receiving yards here on Underdog. However, the stats are going to show differently. I'm just going to stay away from that one completely. Cleveland. Deshaun, I'm staying away from his prop bets. I like Amari Cooper over on 4 receptions because he went 2 receptions against Indy, but on 8 targets. 11 targets against Seattle, had 6 receptions, and 5 for 5 against Arizona. So I like Amari Cooper over 4 receptions. And then Baltimore money line. That's where I'm at.
I want to give a little take on me right now. Odell goes over whatever his projections come out to be. He goes over his yards. I'm thinking in my head right now, I would even go crazy. I'm going to go with a 100-yard game for Odell this weekend. Or he gets hurt. One of the two. You heard it here. I'm going to put my flag on that one. So
is M&T Bank Field grass or turf?
I think it's grass, but it might be that artificial grass turf thing. So I'm worried about him always getting hurt, but he had a nice game last week, and I think Zay Flowers can't. He's so wishy-washy. He's there and then he's not there, and then it's like Lamar loves him, and
Minnesota got the best rookie out of the draft. Shout
they
out to
did.
Jordan Addison. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, absolutely. We know that for a fact. But they just like they want him, they don't want him. Lamar likes to throw it to him, and he doesn't throw it to him. Then he throws it to him, and he can't catch it, but then he catches it and goes crazy. So continuity is starting to grow with him and OBJ. And I'm going to go with a 100-yard receiving game for OBJ this week.
The disrespect for Puka Nacua in this chat.
I know, right?
Hey,
Just saying.
Puka is a big sleeper. I think Jordan Addison was picked above him for reasons. So
Yeah, I mean Puka was injured his last year at BYU, so
yeah. And, hey, nothing against him. I think he's played fantastically.
If Puka could have played in Minnesota with Jaron Hall before he got concussed, they might have had a connection there.
Jaron Hall, he didn't look bad.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't going to be bad.
Look bad. And if his ceiling is a viable backup option, I think they hit that draft pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, gentlemen. We got the Texans at the Bengals. Randy, you know very well about both these teams, past and present. 6.5 point spread for the Bengals. 47 is the total. What do we have on this game, Randy?
Another Cincinnati win. And then I'll take the under. I think the under is at 47.
Yes.
I have it at 39.3. So I'll take that, I'll take the 8 points there, and I'll take the under on 47.
So no CJ Stroud repeat performance from last week.
No, absolutely not. He's going to come back down to earth. I mean, the kid looks good, and I can't hate on him because 470 and 5 is pretty good Sunday, but the Cincinnati defense just doesn't give up anything at home. I think Cincinnati probably holds them to 17 or less, and Cincinnati's probably going to be 21-ish. And I think we get a 3 or 4 point win at home.
Ben, Nico Collins, what's he doing this week?
Yep, I'm still sticking with his 4 receptions. I mean, because you don't really know which receiver is going to take over yards-wise and which one's going to have the hot hand, a given day. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of young receivers there that are really good. So, and Nico's pretty much like the elder statesman, since Robert Woods is out, has been injured off and on. So, and as for the game, the Bengals are just hot right now. If I would go with the Bengals covering their 6.5. So, I mean, CJ is not going to be as hot as he was last game, like Randy says. So I have that one.
Jeremy, what you got?
Sorry, laughing was throwing me off. I'm trying to wrap my head around this. I think last year, Cincinnati started off the same way. A lot of people forgot about that this year, where it's it took them 4 games. I think Cincinnati is all the way back. I think Texans could pull a surprise and cover the spread. So I kind of like Houston covering the spread, but I like Cincinnati money line. So take that as you will. I'm kind of hedging my bet there a little bit. I do like the under as well as what Randy said. It was 47.5. Again, that's pretty high. I get it. Houston's on the uptick, and I think their culture down there is starting to build. I'm still gonna fade them a little bit and ride that under 47.5. I don't think CJ Stroud's gonna have that repeat. With regards to player props, let's see. I am this year a Nico Collins fan. I think he's been doing really well, and he's the number 1 target down there. So I like him to have at least 1 touchdown. I also like a Joe Mixon touchdown too. So throw him out with that.
What's your take on this game, Cincinnati and Houston?
I think the book's probably right on this one and around. I think that you could probably get the Texans to cover, and I'm sure that line will drop a little bit over the next couple of days. But it's as much as I'm a huge Nico Collins fan. Go Blue.
Yep.
It's hard to bet against the way the Bengals are playing right now, and defensively, they're not playing, championship defense, but that offense is just clicking in all the right places. I mean, he's hitting Jamar Chase like he was at the end of the year last year. So I think that'll continue in this game. The Texans do have a good defense and they do have some good corners, but they're often injured, and so. But like I said, I would probably take the Bengals in money line 100%, but spread, I mean, I would probably tease it if I could. So,
moving on, gentlemen, unless we got anything else to add. Let's go to the Green Bay at Pittsburgh game. Last game in the 1 o'clock window. Pittsburgh is 3-point favorites at home. Total is 38.5. Ben, your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to take the Steelers on this one. Cover it. to -3. Green Bay started out looking good. At the beginning of the season, they've just fallen off a cliff all of a sudden. And Pittsburgh has slowly gotten better as the year has progressed, but Kenny Pickett still hasn't gotten any better. That run game seems to be finally coming along. So if you bet anything, I'll take the Steelers on this one.
Randy?
This game's ugly, man. I don't know. Both these quarterbacks suck. Both these running backs suck. Dillon and Harris. Aaron Jones is starting to look like Aaron Jones a little bit now. Number one receiver for Pittsburgh's pissed. Christian Watson looks like he can't catch a cold. I just see it being a lot of defense. I'm not really sold on anything in this game, to be honest. What's the over-under on it?
38.5.
Yeah, I have it at 39. So, I think it's just priced right.
Jeremy?
I saw one of those hot takes today. Steelers are the worst 5-3 team in the league right now that someone had ever seen. I like Kenny Pickett. To be honest, I'm staying away from this game. I'm gonna give another week. I love Mike Tomlin. I think the culture there in Pittsburgh is amazing. But for this game specifically, I'm staying away just because feelings are going to get in the way. I hate Green Bay, so I'm out.
To another person who hates Green Bay just as much, Waters, your take on this game, Green Bay at Pittsburgh.
I knew that was me. I think the Steelers defense seems to be getting better, but also Kenny Pickett definitely isn't getting better. But that Green Bay team looks a mess right now. I mean, there's no consistency on offense. The defense that is supposed to be, top 10 defense is, last week they had a decent game, but I mean, overall they're getting work for the most part of the year. And it just, I think that Aaron Jones is probably going to eat. I don't think that they'll be able to stop that. So if you're going to put any money on this game, I'd probably put it on Aaron Jones just because he's, back and seems healthy. And they've proven that if he's healthy, he's getting the ball, 20 plus touches every game that he's healthy. So, but yeah, I don't think I could put money on anything else in this, just with the volatility of both these teams.
George Pickens is not happy.
Sure. Yeah, you see him not.
Yeah.
There you go.
with Deontay Johnson, yeah, he is not happy to be there. He is not happy with the game flow. He's not happy with the play calling. He's not happy with what he's getting. He's not a teammate. He's not a good team player. And the dysfunction of him is going to be detrimental to any success that this Pittsburgh Steelers team could potentially have. Not much, but they're doing enough right now. But they can't sustain it, in my opinion, with his disgruntledness. So this game, they will probably win, personally, because Green Bay is trash. They are legitimate trash. If Stafford plays last week, they lose.
Mm-hmm.
Ben knows this. Ben knows this wholeheartedly that they lose.
Yep.
So Green Bay on the road is even worse than Green Bay at home. So I look for the Steelers money line. Just take that, and but watch out, George Pickens. If he continues to feel this way, and if they try to force anything to him, it's just going to be worse on them in the long run. So, and worse on Kenny Pickett for that matter. Moving on, Falcons at Cardinals. Atlanta is 1.5 point favorites on the road. Total is 43.5. Clayton Tune's second start in the league, and he still hasn't got any points for his team yet. Still no points. Randy, what's your thoughts on this game?
I think Kyler's back this week, right?
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
That's
Tyler's
right.
starting.
Yeah, he
Tyler's starting.
is, yeah.
Kyler is starting. Okay, that's right. I knew he was activated. I didn't know if he was going to start though or not.
So is
Yeah, I mean, he
Taylor
said I
Heineke
think
starting, or
yesterday
is
they
it
said he was
just,
starting.
Desmond Ritter?
No. Heineke
Heineke.
is definitely
It's Heineke
starting.
for sure.
Heineke's
Yeah.
starting the rest of the way. That's not
Yeah.
changing.
No.
So Kyler's back. So let's change that tune. All pun intended. Randy, what you got?
I mean, I have the over under at 43.5, and it's lined at 43.5. So like nothing there. I don't have any faith in either one of these teams. That coach for Atlanta's got to be one of the dumbest coaches of all time. Like, why are you taking all these dudes at the top of the draft not to use them? Makes no sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
He just thinks he's out here Bill Belichicking it, like just outsmarting everybody, playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. But I don't know. Like, there's just not a lot to like. Probably a lot of. Is there like a punt over I can get on one of these punters in the game or something?
You can on like Prize Picks and stuff like that, and Underdog probably. Yeah.
I would look at that then.
Yep.
Or maybe like
Water-
a Younghoe Koo over on field goals. I'm not sure how.
It's probably
Or-
1.5, but it's. Waters, you got any takes on this game?
Yeah, if I can get Arthur Smith to guarantee me that Bijan's going to touch the ball 15 times, I'd take Bijan, whatever it was,
That's not
against this
happening.
defense. Against this defense. But no, I don't. Yeah, there's no way that this game is going to be a good game to bet on. I mean, obviously the Falcons should be able to do whatever they want against this Cardinals defense, but they somehow find a way to shoot themselves in the foot. And I do think that Kyler could come back and have a good game, but you don't miss 10 months of football and come back and just be the man. He did practice 2 weeks previous. He did start practicing week 8, but it's hard to bet on that right now.
Jeremy?
Atlanta's defense isn't horrible. The one bet, and I will ride it pretty much everything. Younghoe Koo, like Randy said, he's been doing fantastic. Like just looking on Underdog Fantasy, he's gone 3 field goals, 3 field goals, 4 field goals. Right now, it's showing over under 1.5 on field goals. Smash that over every day. Fantasy points right here on Underdog. He's gone 10, 11, 14 points, and right now the over under 6.5 points. Smash that over, and only 2 extra points made. He's gone 1 and then 2 and then 2. I'd stay away from that one. The kicking points, field goals, over on both of those, just to make that parlay a little bit sweeter on Underdog. Whatever you want to do, like the Neil Hunter sacks, like throw that in there and smash that. Other than that, I got Atlanta money line. I'm not buying the Kyler hype train. I never have, and I never will.
Ben?
Do you guys know how many inside the 5 carries that Bijan Robinson has this year?
0.
I'm gonna say 0.
Yeah.
He has 1.
Is that
Okay,
1?
all right.
Was that the headache game?
No, because that was at midfield, right? He got 1 carry, and they
Yeah.
just to get the bets to go through because the Underdog did that. I think Underdog did a boost that week where he needed over 0.5 yards receiving or rushing and did not get it.
Now, do you know what Algiers inside the 5 is? I feel like it can't be much more than that.
I can look it up real quick.
It's probably not.
Yeah,
Ben, while Randy's looking it up, go ahead with your takes on this game.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, cool. That expedites the process right there.
Exactly.
Randy, I'll continue and let you look that up real quick.
Okay.
I will get us into the next game. This one we've had our token Detroit fan who's just a pseudo Detroit fan because he's a Michigan man all year long in Ben.
Yep.
And
So,
he touts the lines. Go ahead, Randy.
So Algier has a nice number. He's 6 for 9.
No,
Oh,
6
okay.
attempts,
Yeah,
9
there
yards,
you go.
Not bad.
3
Yeah.
touchdowns.
All right, but now we got the true Lions fan in the building, in Jason Waters. Detroit at the Chargers. Detroit coming off their bye. Detroit is 3-point favorites on the road. 48.5 total. Waters, Share some insight on your lines, please.
I can and I will, my friend. So I think first things first is that David Montgomery's back and will be playing. I think that is going to be a big bump for the Lions. They also their whole O line is healthy and playing this week. Their whole 53-man roster, there's no one that's on it that's injured this week right now. So that is definitely what you want to hear after coming out of a bye. So I think for me, if I was going to lock anything in this game for sure, I'm going to say, I shouldn't say for sure, but I would I'm going to put a little money on Monty for 2 touchdowns. I don't see a world where he's not going to get, Dan Campbell has proven that him and Ben Johnson both have proven they want to run the ball, and there's no way they're not, especially when they get, into the red zone. That's just what they're going to do. And, I do like, I haven't seen Goff's line yet for yards, but I don't know if you guys know or not, but the Chargers are the 32nd ranked pass defense in the league, allowing, I think it's 296. Let me double check that number. I don't want to
261.
be wrong. Okay. What is I have it. Yeah, I have 286 is what I'm showing on my end here, but either way, it's the worst in the league from my statistics here, and that is a real stat. They are not good on defense. They're not getting pressure on the quarterback. Khalil Mack has been inconsistent since that 6-week game, and I don't know if Joey Bosa is still there. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't. I'm just kidding, obviously, but he did have a strip sack. We saw that. But I think Goff's yards is going to be great. I think that they're probably going to have Eckler, his rushing yards. I don't think I'd take it. If you can get his receiving yards, I'd probably take it. If it's in the 35-ish range, 40 range, but Detroit is going to try and make it a point to stop Eckler, which obviously is easier said than done. But I don't see him getting a bunch of rushing yards, but I could see him easily getting 100 receiving yards with the like a week 2 Seattle type shootout that Detroit had. I could see that happening again this week for sure. But yeah, that's what I got.
Jeremy, you got any thoughts on this game?
I hate Vegas.
Wait, the Raiders or the city?
No,
Both,
just Vegas
all
in
of it.
general. Just looking at it.
The
So
Knights.
yeah, like I was looking at it earlier. It's showing Detroit's the favorite, but then you go on to you click the matchup and it's showing Chargers 59% matchup predictor favorite.
We don't go into that. We don't care about that.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. I'm just saying I hate them.
Detroit is plus.
I
minus
like
3
on underdog. I like Jared Goff on the over passing yards 261.5. I think that's a little bit low, like what you're saying for the Chargers defense. I know some people are not big on Justin Herbert. They think he's overrated and everything like that. I think he's perfectly rated, and I think he can pick apart, and he showed that he could do that against the Vikings. They blitzed the ever-living hell out of him, and he absolutely picked that defense apart. I mean, Brian Flores is a mastermind of a defensive coordinator. Justin Herbert showed that even with the clown of Brandon Staley running the show there in LA, that he can still produce. Eckler, again, extremely high on. So whatever his props are, love him. Gibbs, I really like a Gibbs touchdown this week. I think he's shown Dan Campbell is finally realizing, hey, what did he pick him 11th or something like that? He's a first round pick. You got to use him. Unlike Arthur Smith out there in Atlanta, not using Bijan, got to use him. As far as money line goes, it's a tough game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I like Atlanta money line.
You mean Detroit money line.
Sorry, no, LA money line.
LA money line.
I said Atlanta money line because I was just talking about them. Bijan, LA
Yeah,
money line.
Gotcha.
Yep, LA.
Ben, your thoughts?
I'm gonna take Detroit in this one. I have them covering the -3. The Chargers, I still don't trust them, even though they've won 2 games. I mean, you gotta look at the competition they played and who they beat, and I'm not trusting the Chargers at all. And also, I will take, like I usually do, either 1 or 2 Aiden sacks. I'm gonna take 2.
Let's
2
go.
8 sacks. As always.
Yep.
Per usual on Ben right here.
Exactly.
How you gonna be right one week? You'll be right.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we saw what the Jets did to Herbert, so I mean,
Oh yeah.
hopefully.
Oh yeah. Randy, your thoughts?
No, that offensive line is definitely weak for sure.
I think this is one of those games where you just grab a beer and you just watch it. I think it's going to be a great game, but I don't really feel strongly one way or the other. I know the Chargers' pass defense sucks, but Goff hasn't been the same QB on the road. I know it's going to LA, so maybe it'll be a little bit more warm and maybe he'll play decent, but he just hasn't been the same on the road. Plus, getting Montgomery back might slow Goff down a little bit. They might like to go to the ground a lot because Chargers aren't really great against the run either, I don't think. Even though there's 30 seconds against the pass, I think they're pretty bad on the ground also.
Yeah, I think they're like 10 or 11 on the ground. I'll double check. But
yeah, I think this is just a good game. I think this is just a nice game to watch.
I think for me personally, Chargers, their offense looked very mediocre at best against the Jets on Monday night. The Jets have a really good defense. Really good defense. The only reason they're staying in the playoff hunt is because of that defense.
So the Chargers are good against rushing running backs, but Jahmyr Gibbs might be a good look because they give up a lot through the air to running backs.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
The Chargers defense looked really good against the Jets. But again, the Jets offense is really, 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 really bad under Zach Wilson. Detroit's offense is electric at times when they're on, and they're on most of the time here lately. Put those two together, and the Detroit's defense is decent, but the Chargers offense is really high-powered when it can be on. Put those two together, and I'll take the over on this game. Other than that, we shall move on if you are ready.
So just real quick, Chargers give up the most targets to running backs, second most receptions, and second most receiving yards. So depending on what Jahmyr Gibbs line comes out at,
yeah, he's still a big.
We know Demont's not going to catch much. He'll be doing the work on the ground, but Gibbs should get a few looks.
Yeah, that should be definitely looked at for sure. From a really good game in the 4 o'clock window to a really, really, really bad game. Giants at Cowboys. We saw this week 1, and unfortunately, week 1 might have been the better of the 2 games because the Giants actually had their starting quarterback, and they still couldn't put up any points.
Wait, though, but didn't they?
For a while.
Isn't technically Tyrod their real starting quarterback, but –
Okay, well, they didn't have their starting quarterback or their backup quarterback. Now they have their third string quarterback, okay? Danny DeVito is quarterback. Oh, wait, what's his name again?
Tommy
DeVito. Distant cousin of Danny, I'm sure. Taller than Danny.
Probably does those Jersey Mike, commercials with him, but
Probably does. Probably gets a little royalties from him. Dallas is 16.5-point favorites. Total is 38.5. Ben, I'll start with you. Your thoughts?
My thoughts is that Dallas is going to own this game, and the Giants will never be in it. And also, I'm not putting any money on it.
Okay, fair enough. Randy?
I mean, It may always be sunny in Philadelphia, but it's going to be gloomy as hell for these Giants in Dallas. Danny, Tommy DeVito, whatever his name is, about to get that work. I think you look at the over, and you might not even need the Giants to score.
True.
What's the current over-under on the game?
38 and a
38 and a
half.
half, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah. I have Dallas scoring 32.
yeah, I can see that.
So, I mean, it's right there. Maybe you just look at the Dallas over. I'm not sure what it is. It's probably like 29 and a half, something like that. Just throwing a guess out there. But, yeah, if I was going to look at something, it'd be something of that nature. Is there a line out for Dallas's total?
I don't know. I haven't.
Oh,
looked
yeah.
at it.
26 and a half. You can go grab that
Oh,
right now.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
get yeah.
True.
Waters, your take?
I'm gonna take Micah Parsons to get 2 sacks.
Yeah.
There you go.
No, honestly, I don't think I do much in this game, but I think that I don't know what the line is on that exactly, but I mean, I wouldn't mind throwing that, some money at that just to make a few dollars or nothing else. So, but yeah, it's gonna be a nightmare. I honestly, I've watched football for 20 plus years, and not that that's relevant to this, but I literally cannot tell you who Tommy DeVito is. Like that's that is literally how I literally have 12 fantasy football teams this year, and I cannot tell you who Tommy DeVito is. So if anybody knows, I mean, I'll take some.
I can't remember where he goes to school at. So
I saw a dude tweeted last Sunday night, I think it was. I forget who did the Bengals play last week? Was it the
Buffalo.
Buffalo. He's like, I'll give anybody a blowjob if they can guess who my captain is for Showdown. And there was like 300 guesses and nobody got it right. Dude went with Tanner Hudson as his Showdown captain. I feel like it's kind of the same thing with Tommy DeVito. It's like, without Googling it, like who can guess what school Tommy DeVito went to?
Rhode Island. I don't know. He's going to be maybe Rutgers. Sounds like a Rutgers guy.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
But while Randy's looking it up for us, he'll be the 10th. He'll be the 10th starting rookie this year, which is an all-time record for any season.
Oh,
yeah.
He played at Syracuse and Illinois.
Oh, all right.
Oh, Syracuse.
Man, I'm a big
Syracuse,
kid. You think I would have seen that?
I mean, it's pretty close with Rutgers, though.
Yeah. Should have picked a team with orange colors because both of those teams do have them.
Yeah.
Jeremy, any thoughts on this game?
Cowboys by 50.
Might not be enough.
I'm the only money I'm putting on this game is smashing that over. That's pretty much it. Cowboys or Giants covering the spread is really like they're just trying to be nice, trying to make it so it doesn't. Like they're trying to not make it look like college football at this point, but they know that the over is just going to smash all day.
I was talking to one of our other collaborators earlier, and he said 16.5 looks a little bit high, and I said 13.5, and run it easily. You know what? I thought about it for a minute. I was like, wait a minute. This team won. Well, this Giants team, not this Giants team, a Giants team with a healthy Daniel Jones and a healthy Saquon Barkley lost 40-0 on opening night at home. Okay. It's not going to be 40-0. I don't believe. I mean, the zero part may be accurate. I don't know if Dallas gets up to 40 again, but I will say that I'm going to reverse track on what I said to him. I'm going to take and lock it in 20.5 spread. We get a little extra plus money on that thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how you can get it to plus money without going too crazy. If you take Dallas minus 9.5, and if you take Buffalo minus 9.5, it's plus 179.
Get a little way to double your money real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, I am not a Mike McCarthy fan. I get it. Trayvon Diggs is out for the season, torn ACL.
But he's been
Is
out.
is he
so-
a fantastic defensive player? I would say no. Yes, he gets the interceptions. He also has a lot of missed tackles. Dak, again, not super high on, but it's still the Cowboys. They put the beating on the Vikings last year, like when I think there was on Fox. Fox literally apologized for the game. They were like, "We're sorry. Please go over to this other game." They do know how to step on someone's throat. It's going to happen again this week.
Yeah.
Like you said, 20.5 points. Get that alternate money line or alternate spread or whatever it is.
it's
Smash it
comfortable.
all day.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bat an eye at it.
Moving on. Commanders at Seahawks. Seahawks are minus 6-point favorites. They're 6-point favorites at home. 45.5 is total. Randy, you got any thoughts on this game?
This is like the same game as the Lions and Chargers for me. Like, I think this is just a really good football game to watch, but I don't see anything you can put money on. Both these teams are in the middle of the road. I think, given the landscape of kind of quarterbacks in the NFL today, I think Sam Howell is a starting quarterback in the NFL somehow. But yeah, just don't see a lot. Yeah, I mean, like Sam Howell and Geno Smith. You just said that 6 years ago. Like,
Yeah, nobody would have believed you.
Well,
I mean-
Sam Howell was still in high school 6 years ago, but yeah.
right?
That's why
I'm saying,
nobody would
like,
believe you. Yeah.
with you, like, nobody's ever going to say he's a top 15 quarterback in the NFL, but like
No.
he's probably top 20, and top 20's good enough right now, especially in the NFC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Waters?
So I like Washington to cover the 6. I think that they've got a good enough offensive team to shoot out with Seattle, and Seattle, they got a little bit better on defense, but I think that much like the Ravens did to the Lions, I think they got exposed a little bit on that game. So I do think they'll come out and play hard, but I believe in Eric Bieniemy. I think he's a offensive mastermind. I think that's why you've seen the Sam Howell, what he's done this year a lot has been because of what Bieniemy's brought to the table. And I was looking earlier, and I think it was Logan Thomas is plus 340 for anytime touchdown. I love that. Honestly, I think that it's very possible that he gets one in the end zone just because Howell seems to be targeting him down there. So I would definitely put a little bit on that for sure.
What's his odds to get concussed?
Plus 320.
Okay, so I'd rather put money on that personally. I have no faith in Logan Thomas staying healthy all the time.
That's true.
Yeah, I feel that.
Jeremy?
The only thing I like from this game is Kenneth Walker first touchdown.
You might want to hold off on that one.
Really,
Yeah,
what happened?
we all
He didn't
pause
practice
on
this
that.
week or today. He didn't practice today.
Kenneth
No,
Walker was
yeah, I didn't know that.
out most of the game last week. I don't feel comfortable with Kenneth Walker right now. I'm sketchy.
No,
He's
okay, yep, okay. So we can edit that out, or no, leave it. Y'all can make fun of me. It's okay.
I'm trying
No,
to
it's
find.
all good.
Trying to find why he didn't practice, but
Yeah, I'm looking.
why?
Oh,
Because
no.
he's out of. I don't
No,
know
I
if he's
didn't
injured or
get
out
it.
of favor. I don't know which one.
Well, the past couple of games, he's just looked awful
And
every
yeah,
time he touched the ball. So,
Charbonnet or whatever his name is.
Really?
Charbonnet, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
has been taken over.
yeah.
That's true.
And Kenneth Walker's on my fantasy team, and I'm scared.
what noise was that again?
Yeah. It's like I don't
Charbonnet's
know.
plus 170 for anytime touchdown too. So
He has a chest injury.
Chest. Okay.
You said a chest injury?
Yeah,
Chest. Yeah, he's not gonna play this week. I mean, if he does, he's gonna be limited, most likely. I would say.
All right. Well, then, okay. So Seattle Commanders staying away from first touchdown. Antonio Gibson's been looking pretty okay the last couple weeks. I'm sorry. I'm just running through it all in my head. Stay
I
away
think
from
Robinson
that.
has a designation too this week, doesn't he?
you talking about Brian Robson?
Yeah.
I think so.
I can look real quick.
I think it was last week. It was last week that he was questionable, but he played.
Yeah, I got. I think Gibson is due for a touchdown. I'm gonna roll with a Gibson touchdown, and I would ride that. I wouldn't throw that into like any parlay or anything like that. I'd ride that pretty much solo by itself. I wouldn't throw that into like mess up your like if you got like a pretty good parlay going. That would be the leg to break the camel's back. I do like a Gibson touchdown. He's probably looking. I don't know what his line is right now for rushing. No, last week he had 34 rushing yards and 14-7. So he's probably looking around something like for like 25 and a half or so. Stay away from that. He looks like he's pretty good at receiving. You know what? He's probably pretty good at receiving. I don't know what his receiving yards look like, but I would smash that all day. And I still think I would take Seattle money line. They're in Seattle, 12th man. I've been to a game out there. It's louder than all hell. Seattle money line.
For sure.
Ben, your thoughts on this game?
I just think it would be a good game to watch. Both these teams are somewhat evenly matched, I think. The only thing I would take would be Sam Howell over 257.5 passing yards. And last game he had 325. The Philly game he had 397. The Giants game he had 249, so that's a little off. And the Chicago game he had 388. So, I mean, looking at the defenses he has faced with the Patriots and Philly going almost 400 on Philly and about almost 330 on New England, he should go over that 257.5.
Any other thoughts on this game, gentlemen?
No.
Moving on, Sunday night game, Jets at Raiders. Oh, Sunday night game it is.
True pass.
Jets are
Hard pass.
minus one. Total is 36.5. Anybody want to discuss this, or are we moving on?
Keep it moving.
Just
I mean, don't bet on it. Don't bet on it.
1-800 seek help.
Okay, I got one thing to say. About this, and it goes back to last week, when I talked about Josh McDaniels and them getting rid of him, and then how this Raiders culture was going to be different, how they had a chance to be in a playoff pursuit. That still is legitimate, and we're still not going to learn anything about this team until later down the road. Because guess what? Most likely, I'm going to put them on the money line. I mean, I don't know, so saying well, I'm bet it necessarily, but money line Raiders looks like they're going to win. To me, it's the Jets. Okay, Jets are not primetime worthy. Zach Wilson gets really skittish. Even when Daddy's in the house, he doesn't like primetime. The lights are too bright. So, and he knows Daddy's coming back soon. So he can't even hold it together, unfortunately. With that being said, quick thought about the Raiders. I've said it in the last two videos. I'll say it again. Stuff's coming down in Michigan soon. I'm sorry, Ben. You know it. When Harbaugh gets whatever happens to him, Brady's going to make the call. He's gone. That's my take. But that's my hot take on that. So I mean, it has been. It's not really a hot take anymore. It's kind of cooling down. I mean, it's getting more traction every day though. But I hope Michigan can stay the course, and I hope they don't do anything stupid until after the season's over with, because I really hate them to mess up their whole playoff projection with either team. But I could care less about Ohio State, but you know that. So
yeah.
Moving on. Denver, Buffalo, Monday night. Buffalo is 7.5-point favorites. The total is 47. Anybody? Can I get a Broncos country?
Let's ride.
Nope.
No.
No. Waters, what your take on this game? And Waters left. Jeremy, your take on this game, sir?
Josh Allen plays to the level of the team he's playing. Another thing is Russell Wilson puts up good passer rating, not a good QBR. Let's see, what is his individual stats? Let me look this up real quick. Yeah, he's probably like a 200 something passing yards. I like his under on passing. Let's see if it's even up there yet. No, it's not even on Underdog yet. Not that I'm showing. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's Monday night, so they haven't got it yet.
Yeah. Again, I'd probably have to revisit it. If his passing yards is anything around 225 or so, give or take 10 yards, I'm probably hitting that under. I still think Bills money line is the play, but if you want to try and make a little bit more money, I think the Denver money line isn't a horrible bet just because of how Buffalo likes to play to their opponent. Denver doesn't have a horrible defense, and yeah, it's kind of my take. But it's a safe bet, Buffalo money line.
Waters.
Yes. Listen. I'm taking. I don't know what Josh Allen has, yardage wise, but I'm
There's
taking
nothing
whatever.
yet,
I'm
so.
taking the underneath it, whatever it is. Whatever it turns out to be. Just because I honestly think that they're going to run the ball all over this Denver team. I think that LeGarrette Blount's going to get work this week. I think James Cook's going to get work. Tavius Murray. It's just that Denver run defense is literally the worst in the league, and they have shown week in, week out that they're not going to stop the run. They can't stop it, and I think Josh Allen gets somewhat of a break this week and doesn't have to get beaten down in his offensive struggles that we've seen. He will probably throw a pick, though. Let's be honest. So,
correct me if I'm wrong. LeGarrette Blount and Leonard Fournette are the same person, right?
I literally said LeGarrette Blount, didn't I? Man,
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yes, I did read
I
Leonard
don't think they've
Fournette.
ever been seen in the same room at the same
I
time.
don't think
Yeah.
they have either.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I wouldn't deny it if it was, because it's like, yeah, it makes sense to me.
They might sign him. I mean, it's still early in the week.
Ben, your thoughts on this game?
I'm going to say Buffalo covers 7.5. Kind of going out there on the limb, I feel like, because I still don't fully trust this Buffalo team, but I don't have no faith in Denver whatsoever. I like this Buffalo team. I just don't know what's going on with them. I just really can't tell. You think Josh Allen should be better than what he is. You think their whole team put together should be better than what they are. But they just can't seem to get it together for nothing.
Randy?
I'll make this short and sweet. Buffalo's going to beat the brakes off Denver. Beat the brakes off of them. It wouldn't surprise me if they win by 18. I just think they're going to beat them down. It's not even going to be close.
Y'all know my stance on Josh Allen. It's well documented now. With that being said, I think this is a get-right game. I think this is the game that gets them turned back in the right direction and gets Josh Allen his head back in the game. With that being said, the running game is going to run all over him, but Dalton Kincaid's going to get a lot of touches too. When he finds out that that's his go-to, that's his bread and butter as far as check downs and not forcing the ball to anybody, when he realizes that, they're going to score a lot of points, and they're going to have a lot of yards in this game and any other game. Josh Allen will get that right, I believe. If he doesn't, then next week you'll have me, saying interceptions for the rest of the time with him. I would love to call interception and lock it in right now. I cannot. I will not. Denver's defense has not looked they've looked flashy at times, but Vance Joseph is still in the building. and he is not a great defensive coordinator by any stretch of the imagination. So, with that being said, I will get off my soapbox for Josh Allen for 1 week and let him do his thing. Now, gentlemen, it is time for the two of y'all who just joined us this week. We do our lock-ins of the evening, lock-ins of the week, presented by the letter M this week. M for money. Let's go make some money, people. What we do is we go through each game, run down, take our locks of the week. You don't have to have a lock if you don't have a good feeling about anything. You don't have to lock every game. You don't have to lock anything. If you want to pass. Typically about 3 locks per person. If you have more conviction than that, you can do it. And then I'll take those locks. I'll take 3 of them. And there's 4 of y'all today, and there's me. We'll just take 3. That seems to be the best parlay way to go. We'll take 3 of the locks. I'll put them in a parlay, give them to the viewers, and that's how we do it. So, with that being said, Thursday night game, are we all going to pass on that before I even get started?
Pass.
Mm-hmm. Pass.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Maybe
Sunday
ceiling, but
Sunday morning, Colts, Patriots, any locks?
Yeah, nothing.
definitely not.
Good. Okay. 49ers, Jaguars, any locks?
Pass.
Yeah, I don't know about a lock. I mean, I do think that Jacksonville is going to cover the 3, but I don't know if I wouldn't lock it in. Not.
Yeah, it's a shot in the dark for me. I know I said Jags money line, but
Not a lock.
not a lock.
I have McCaffrey touchdown and ETN touchdown.
No.
You locking those?
I mean, you can lock in easily.
Yep.
You can lock in that McCaffrey
Okay, are we?
touchdown. I agree
So
with that.
we can do that as like a lock, like a player prop.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have one.
Yeah, McCaffrey touchdown lock. Absolutely.
Saints,
No reason to get off the train. He's proven it every single week.
Saints, Vikings, any locks?
Pass.
Yeah, I don't like it enough.
Taysom Hill passing or rushing touchdown.
I don't know if his passing touchdown is going to be different because it's not going to be an anytime touchdown if he gets a passing touchdown.
On Prize Picks though, if you're using Prize Picks, take that.
Do they let? Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's good. I was making sure because it's kind of weird because quarterbacks don't get that typically.
Yeah. So
Okay. My lock, Vikings money line. I'm locking that in. Moving on, Titans, Buccaneers, any locks?
Hell no.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
Browns, Ravens, any locks?
I think
What?
Lamar TD is a lock for me. Like I said, I think that they're gonna, if they get in the red zone, Lamar's gonna get that open space just because they're gonna be stacking the box, and he'll get one.
What's the spread in that game? Do we know?
Yeah, 6.
6.
Baltimore's 6-point favorites.
Let me get what's Baltimore minus 4.5.
Baltimore minus 4.5. I got it at
Yeah, let me get that at
minus 140.
Yeah,
Minus
let me get that.
140, yeah.
I like that.
I like Mark Andrews over 4 receptions, as we talked about earlier, because looking at his past 3 games, the lowest he's had is 4 receptions, like minimum. That's on Underdog Fantasy, the over/under, and it's so if he gets 4 receptions, the bet just gets put back to you, your money. He goes over, boom, you hit. I like over 4 receptions.
Texans, Bengals, locks.
Pass.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to put the Texans covering, I don't see a problem with that. It's not easy money, but I think they're good enough. They're a good enough team. I think the Bengals are good, but that CJ Stroud's proven that he can find his weapons, and if he moves the ball like he did, obviously it's a different opponent, but if you're gonna move the ball around like he did last week, then it's I see them honestly coming down to the last possession, which obviously could be 7, but I'd take the chances.
Yeah. I mean, I'll go with Matt Nico, 4 receptions. So.
Yeah,
Like
your
having no
standard Nico lock, 4 receptions. Yes. Okay. Packers, Steelers. Any locks?
Pass.
Mm-mm.
Falcons, Cardinals. Any locks?
Pass.
Yeah, definitely not.
Lions, Chargers.
Pass.
I'm locking in Monty 2 touchdowns. Like I said, they're gonna use him as much as they can with him being back.
And go with Matt Aiden, 2 sacks. So
Yeah, and I like as of right now, an underdog, Jared Goff over, was it 260? Let's find it real quick. Yeah, he's 261.5 on underdog right now. I like that over, especially with the Chargers' pass defense.
And the 48.5, the spread, or not spread, but the over under. I don't necessarily think that's a lot, but if I wouldn't, you couldn't be mad at somebody for betting on that just because it.
Would you tease it down, Waters? Would you lock it in at 45.5 or something?
Yeah, I'd say 45 easy, like in a heartbeat.
Okay. Giants, Cowboys.
Cowboys team total over 26.5.
Yeah,
Cowboys money line.
Cowboys money line all day. Like that's
Cowboys money
the
line.
easiest lock. It's maybe not.
Cowboys
the best
money
bet,
line is minus 1,600. You got to put some money on that, guys.
Yeah, it's not going to move anything. I like Cowboys covering the spread all day.
But I do think Tony Pollard has a good game. I don't know where they got to have his line at, but I think there's no way he's not running the ball a bunch, and maybe Rico Dowdle, depending on how much usage he gets.
What was the over-under on that game?
38.5.
48.5 was it?
38.5.
Yeah.
That's okay. I'm just going to take away the spreads or whatever. I'm 38.5 over for me.
Okay. Commanders, Seahawks.
Nope.
Jets.
Well, hold on real quick. If
No, you good.
Kenneth Walker doesn't play, then I think Charbonnet getting a TD is probably a good look.
Jets, Raiders.
Yeah, and then those who play underdog right now, if Walker ends up not playing, if you're going to gamble on that, Charbonnet, his is boosted to have a touchdown on at least one rushing or receiving, so double the pay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Else who wants to just for your insight.
Jets, Raiders. Any locks?
No chance.
Nope.
Locking it. This game is trash. That's why I'm locking. Broncos, Bills.
Bills. I like the Bills on the spread. I like the Bills team total over. Bills are going to crush. I've been right on Sunday night games pretty much all year. I think the Bills are going to make a stand here because they just lost to us last week. They get back on the right track. They're going to beat the shit out of Denver.
Anybody else?
Yeah. Bills.
Yeah, like I said, I think that if you can, get if you can get Gabe Davis like 3 receptions, then I think that's good. We'll see where the line comes out at, but I know that it's been about 3.5, 4. So we'll see if that since he had a bad week, maybe they'll put that down to 3, and I'd take that for sure.
With those locks, gentlemen, I've come up with a 3-leg parlay. Randy's usually my astute professor on these and can tell you if you want to play it or not. So here we go. Lamar Jackson anytime touchdown. Cowboys total points, just the Cowboys total, over. And the Buffalo Bills money line. Little safety net right there. That will give you a plus 593 3-leg parlay. It's a little bit of change. It's not too hard, in my opinion. Randy, your thoughts on that?
I mean, Lamar thing's sticking your leg out a little bit there. I don't hate it. because Cleveland gives up the third most rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks.
Mhm.
I would probably switch it up and do Baltimore team total over 22.5.
Mhm.
Might bring it down to like plus 400 and something, but that's the way I would lean. But if you want to play them both, I'm cool with that too because Gus Bus ain't getting in the end zone 3 weeks in a row.
No. Since he got in there 2 times last week, it's
And 2 the week before, or 3 the week before.
yeah. So there you have it. There's our locks. Gentlemen, anything final thoughts before we head out?
No, man, I appreciate you guys letting me jump in and talking football.
No
Yeah,
problem.
man.
Anytime.
Yeah, it
Anytime.
was fun. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
y'all are very welcome. Appreciate Jeremy and Waters for coming on board. We missed Michael this evening, but we should have him back next week.
Who's Michael?
And yeah, exactly. And we'll have our show again next week for week 11. We will see you soon. Hopefully you hit the pay window and enjoy some football this week. We out.